Hi everyone, welcome to this channel where we dive into this topic of fulfillment. So, fulfillment is going to be the highlight of this video, and it is crucial for you to know what that is and how to incorporate that. So, let's get to it. Fulfillment. What is that? We all seek to desire the right answer. Fulfillment is something that we all are striving for. We're wondering where to go, how it's going to happen, and what it looks like then after. So, let's break this down. Fulfillment really starts with you. Who are you? How do you see yourself? What do you want to do? Because fulfillment is all about high achieving to the impossible, achieving to what you think might not happen, but if you think like that, it won't happen. So you have to stay in a fulfillment mindset that it's going to happen, like manifestation. So, for example, if you're getting prepared to do something that requires your resilience, your strength, your being, and it hasn't happened yet, but you're preparing for it, that is fulfillment to oneself. Fulfillment to oneself is also in process, in motion to becoming. And that's the beauty. When people understand what fulfillment is, then there's harmony. People can be harmonious with one another, and it just creates vitality within oneself, within the relationship. And this can be with family, friends, colleagues, you name it. Now, fulfillment in certain cases may not be found in places like work, right? Everyone has a fulfillment to basically delegate all tasks that's divided up to person A, B, and C. But at the end, it still is achieved through fulfillment of the day being done, because that is not really emotional, that's working collaboratively, but in the state of getting things fulfilled, getting things done. Because we need people to achieve certain things, and that's just one example right there. Say hi to my cat. She is just curious and she's just jumping everywhere. So fulfillment, let's say outside of work, what goals do you have? What are your hobbies, passions? So fulfillment is like creating a safe space for yourself to thrive in. So that's why I ask, what are your goals and what do you want to do? For example, I want to start learning tennis and piano. I used to play piano when I was a kid, and then life happened, I stopped. So I want to get back to it. And for me, what's important is to set up a foundation in my life. So for example, when I moved, I had to get situated. I had to make sure my apartment was well. I had to make sure I knew the area. I had to make sure that my finances were in check. So a lot of that kind of takes progression. As time was going on, I was still fulfilling myself. I was going to grab a cup of coffee. I still am, but I'm talking in the terms of duration. I still explore, I travel, I make sure I'm just never stopping or limiting myself. And the funny thing is, I want to probably highlight this in another video, but limiting yourself is like limiting your potential. So if you limit yourself, you're limiting yourself like a wall. Like there's a wall right here and you can't strive past that. But it's because of programming over the years that you might have endured, that you then adopted within your body. So then when you respond to the world, it's like you're limiting yourself and you don't know it. So that is probably a whole nother video. But coming back to fulfillment is understanding that no one else can make you happy. You do have to make yourself happy. I don't know who told you that you have to rely on your happiness on someone else, right? You make yourself happy, and that is starting with you. What are you internally feeling? What are you processing? What are you maneuvering that energy to be? Now, there's a thing called experience. Experience helps you find fulfillment. Experience helps you understand yourself and how you are as a human being that is yet evolving. So we are not perfect. However, you can make your life so substantially perfect. Let's put it that way. Your life is like a stage. You're on stage, and you may understand and memorize the lines. You may not know the lines, and you go from there. This is actually a true story where I was in a Cinderella play, and I voiced out my line beforehand, and I was supposed to wait on cue, and I had to repeat my line. Anyways, I felt so embarrassed on stage. I was really young. I actually had the most lines, like I said, so I played the stepmother. But I had a cute purple dress, though. That's good. There's no such answer to fulfillment. However, there are avenues to get there, and that fulfillment is you. So if you're asking, how do I fulfill myself? You are the key to your own fulfillment, okay? Yes, we learn along the way. Yes, we grow. Yes, we expand. And that is vital. That's key for ourselves. And that's the thing. Finding fulfillment is either doing the things that you go back to, that you repetitively love doing. Like, I love hiking. That's not going to change. I love making these types of videos. That's not going to change. I love to go shopping, expand, travel, start businesses. Like, that's not probably going to change, but the thing is, I have to find balance, and that's within time. Fulfillment is knowing how you fulfill yourself in that time, and a lot of that takes discipline. A lot of that takes not overthinking. A lot of that takes just saying, just speaking out and feeling true to yourself, because you can't expect to know the answers every day. You have to kind of be a little receiving. You have to be okay with not knowing, because your resilience is like a little ball of energy. So you have to have experience that shapes within it. It's like your world right here. Then you create your world. So find ways to do things that you love. Invest in a expensive gym membership just for yourself, or doing things independently as well. Like, don't be afraid to go to a restaurant by yourself, travel by yourself if you're willing to take that risk. Don't be afraid, be uncomfortable, because truly everything is not horrible as you think it is. Like, I think we tend to stay in fear mode, which then doesn't make us feel fulfilled, and we are yearning for that, right? It kind of is like a limit to yourself, to your as a person. Wow, my nails look so good. I love red nails. This is like blood red, so classic. Anyways, but this video I do highlight like feminine style, femininity, way of being. I mean, I'm truly like passionate about that. Like, I think it's just all about self-character and developing that, and being okay with starting wherever you are to just create you. Fulfilling is also having like a vision, and you are not afraid to fulfill that vision. That's what you have to do, and that takes time, and that takes progress. So you have to understand that that's what you have to do, and that takes step by step. To continue on a separate day, got really busy, but fulfillment is progression. So what I've noticed in myself and of others is that we all love to make ourselves happy, okay? And the one constraint is that we are dealing with time that feels restrictive and we're going from point A to point B. So in a sense, we're not really open enough to receive. We're really inhibiting our sense of resilience that you feel in the inside. So for example, when you're at work, we know when to put work mode on and we have to get things done, because that way it creates like a pace, one thing after another, and it's a momentum. So that's why not everyone is always going to be jolly and open, because it's like a task that is supposed to be filled. And that's just an example. But looking at that has to be during a process. So even if you are at work and you need to get things done, it's still your role and your job to find ways to make yourself feel fulfilled. So going on lunch, going for a walk, grabbing coffee, reading a book. This could be with family, this could be with relationships, this could be with yourself. What are you doing to make yourself feel like you're receiving, emotionally and mentally aware of your energy? You have to strive in that vision. And there are things that might take up your time, that might take up energy, and it costs, right? We'll find ways to replenish. It's all pretty easy to do. You plan it out. And when you plan it, give yourself like a couple of seconds to just adjust into that setting and then go. You don't just get up and go. Like, that's just not processing anything. So have a vision, even if it's, I'm going to Starbucks, I'm going on my lunch, this is my itinerary for the day. Have a plan, which is the standard, and then write it down. You're the catalyst, you're the one getting yourself there. No one really is but you. So keep that in mind, and I hope you guys have a great day. All right, bye.